Three, two, one. Welcome back. It's Dark Purple Podcast 3.0 with your man's Purple Fox and Hunchochuk here tonight. We're in the studio recording. We're going to discuss a little bit of Apex. Why is Gibby so OP? The new Season 2 of Chapter 2 of Fortnite. And then we're going to go into a little bit of the new music coming out, along with a couple questions to really get your brain and blood flowing up there. So Chuck, welcome. How are you?
I'm good, fella. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. I'm just doing dandy. Just doing dandy.
And I'd like to let everybody know this is like episode 3.01.
Yeah, this would be 3.3 actually, right?
Wait.
So as you guys obviously don't know, this is the recording, this is the one that's going live, but we're actually on recording like 3.3 because last night we were going to record and had some technical difficulties to the point where I said F it, daddy, F it.
He said F it, let's go play Fortnite.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying.
Yeah, so that's 3.0. And then we just tried to record one just a little bit ago, and that was 3.1, and that was technical difficulties. Then we just tried to record it, and then had more technical difficulties. That was 3.2. So now we're on 3.3. And 3 is the lucky charm, I think, Chuck.
I think so. And welcome to episode 3.3.
So I hope everyone will enjoy it. We want to say thank you. If you haven't checked out, guys, the past broadcast, this is your first one. Well, thank you for checking us out. There's episodes before that you can binge through, so it's 2.5, the Purple Fox solo tour. You got 2.0, you get to meet our man, the myth, the legend, Tipsy. Unfortunately, he's not able to be with us tonight. And then you have the original 1.0 episode 1 with 1.2, right?
With your boys.
With
1.2 with your boys. When we started buzzing.
The boys are buzzing. So Chuck, let's start with Apex. And now that the new season has been out, the meta is starting to come. Like, the meta has been found. What's your thoughts, and why is Gibby so OP?
All right. So, Gibraltar, Gibby, Gibster, whatever you want to call him. That fat fuck, that fucker, whatever you want to call him.
By the way, he's aged 30. He's 292 pounds and 6'5". But he's a hog.
Is that with or without the equipment?
I don't know. That's what his stats are.
I hope he's 295 without, because he is a tank if he's got that fucking shit on. But he is so OP right now, and he never was, like we were discussing, because he's only used right now 6.5% of the time, and Pathfinder's the most used at 16%, just to give you a reference point.
Mm-hmm.
But he is only used 6.5% of the time. And now this is statted from the very beginning. So he's low right now because nobody really used him until he became OP. And his shield is like half the reason I hate running into this man. I don't even know how much damage it takes. It takes like 65 damage to get rid of that shield.
Oh, I have. Let me pull it up real quick. Gun shield info. The shield can be disabled by. No, that's not it. Has 9-second cooldown. Let's see here.
Does it even give you an HP?
I don't know. Hold on, I'm trying to have it pulled up right here. I'm trying to find it. Oh, 75 health. So he's 75 health. He's automatic 175 health just off the bat.
Off the bat, like as soon as you drop into the game.
That's
he's
insanity.
Got the shield ready.
That's
right?
Insanity. I mean, I could see it. Like, I think what they could do. Now, this is just me going off the top here. Let's spitball a little bit, Chuck.
All right, spitball. How can Gibraltar be less
I think
OP?
Gibraltar should have automatic. I think 25 shield. Like, if you don't have anything, and you're completely butt-ass naked, okay, Gibby. Let's just picture this. All right, Gibby's butt-ass naked. 292, 6'5" guy, Hawaiian bro, like butt-ass naked. All right. You got that in your head?
Yeah.
All right.
Clear
so
as
then
day.
He pulls his shield out, and he's got 25 health. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of having 75, he's got 25, completely balls out naked.
Okay.
I think for each time that he gets a shield, it should increase his weapon shield.
Instead of having actual shield?
So let's just say it's every 25. So you get 25 plus 25 shield on his gun shield. So he puts on clothes, and he gets plus 25 to his gun shield as well.
So you're just saying if he picks up a common armor,
yes,
it adds 25 or 50 to his gun shield.
Exactly, because think about this. If you go in there with a blue shield,
right,
your chances are probably 6 or 7 out of 10. You're probably gonna kill Gibby. I'd say even 6. Because it seems like every time I go in there, I'll be with a purple shield, and they'll be common or blue, and I still end up dying to Gibby.
Right, because you got to put more clips in them.
And that's another thing is I think the health needs to be fixed, because there's just simply, like, I'm going to... those of you that are on YouTube, check me out on YouTube. Go to PRPLxFox. But I'm going to put... My next video coming up is why is Gibby OP? So a little bit we're going to discuss today. I'm going to put into the video. But... I'm going to just put a clip in there. I have it from the other night. I was just watching it earlier today at the gym. I had to clip it. I posted it on my clips on Twitch. And it is me, again, losing my mind because Gibby's OP. And I literally took an entire 301 clip with a purple extended mag, and I did not miss a shot, completely leveled him, and only cracked him. I only cracked him. And I may have took maybe 20 off of his naked ass.
Right.
There's no reason for that.
There isn't.
Zero.
I like your idea, but I don't, because if I'm a Gibby, I'm fat, I'm running in the back, my gun shield doesn't protect my back, actual shield does. So that he's just 100 health all the time.
In his back?
Yeah, sure. You're saying if he picks up a common shield, it should add shield to his gun shield. Yeah. But his gun shield only comes out when he's aiming down his sight, so he'd only be 100 HP then.
How often do you see Gibby's back?
Okay, let me spitball this at you. I want his shield to be 50, just like a common armor. It should be just like a common armor. Make it 50, but make it so you can still hit him in the head and below the waist.
In the legs. Thank you for bringing this up, Chuck.
Because that is what my change would be to Gibraltar's shield. I
could also agree with that. I can go with that.
Because then if he puts on common armor, he has 50 shield, his back is protected just like normal. But if I have a Kraber and I shoot him in the head, it only does so much damage to actually him, because it still hits his shield for 75, and you can't one-tap Gibby.
Now, do you think that they are going to, if they were due to do something like this, do they increase or decrease the size of his shield?
I hope they decrease the size of his shield.
I mean, in my personal opinion, I think his legs are very exposed. So that's like I told you the one time I figured out that you can't shoot Gibby in the legs and not hit his shield.
His shield's out. Yeah, his shield covers his whole freaking body.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
And it shouldn't. It should be decreased so it just covers his torso. So he just covers a little spray for 50 HP, and then it goes back to him.
I think if it can cover 65% of the body and leave
just his torso, that's a big dude. He's one of the biggest characters. Just his torso, from the waist down, he should be exposed, and from the chin up, he should be exposed. Because body shots are the most common shots, so protect the most common area, and then leave the head open and leave the legs open. And he already has Defiance, so damage already is less on him.
Exactly.
So I think.
Now, is the shield gonna cover him on the legs?
I don't know.
Say he's got a purple shield, and you shoot him in the legs. If they incorporate this, it's gonna be a purple shield you're taking off.
That's how it is now with any legend. If you shoot him in the legs, it takes off that purple armor.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense.
So keep it the same way.
Yeah.
Just shrink his shield and make it 50 HP like a common armor rather than 75 like he just picked up blue.
Yes. Gotcha.
Those would be my changes to Gibraltar to make him less OP.
Yeah, so I was actually just looking at some trivial facts about Gibraltar. And now I have not played Titanfall 1 or Titanfall 2. I don't know, have you?
Really? Yeah, I've played Titanfall 1 a little bit, but not when it was popular. I played it when it came out free.
Okay. So it says that Gibraltar's dome shield is adapted from the ones in Titanfall 1, 2, used to protect newly called in Titans.
Yeah,
His gun shield is similar to the one used by the legend. Now I don't know who those are or what that means. Do you have any idea?
not a clue. I didn't
Oh,
play it that in depth.
yeah.
I played a couple games.
All the next one says really is that Gibraltar walks around naked at home. So yeah,
Is
that's
that
about
really
it.
what it says?
I swear. I'm not. I would never lie. It's called ApexLegends.Gamepedia.com. Trivia: Gibraltar walks around naked at home.
Fair, fair.
I mean, I
All right.
walk around naked at home. If it's your house, dude, like
Let
rock
it
out with your
hang
cock out.
loose.
Rock
Let it
out.
hang. Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Let your
Mom,
meatloaf.
Mom, where's the meatloaf?
Let your meatloaf. But so let's go back into Apex. Those would be my changes to Gibraltar. Uh
Would
so Bloodhound.
oh yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about his buffs. Let's take me away.
So I haven't actually played Bloodhound, but a couple weeks ago on Twitter, I made a post to it was the Titanfall page, but it's now the Apex news page. I made a comment to one of the posts about Bloodhound. I mean, Bloodhound's low key always been, for me at least, like dope. Like, bro, balls out. I really like Bloodhound. I've always been a huge fan. It's just like he always kind of seems to get the short end of the stick when it comes to his abilities. But as what I've heard recently is that they expanded. Now I don't know like the actual metrics to it, but they expanded his Allfather, which is like the scan that he sends out, which is actually kind of sweet. I'm actually kind of curious to see what it is. I didn't play him tonight. I was trying to play Gibraltar, but I'm trash at Gibraltar, even though he's OP, so I still get my cheeks clapped. But and then I moved to Pathfinder because Pathfinder's like I had to go back to basics. I had to go back to
OG.
yeah OG. So like
Back to his roots.
yes, but that's the thing. If it's not Pathfinder, if it wasn't for Gibraltar being OP, I'm usually playing Bloodhound. I just haven't recently. And so, what do you think, Chuck? I know you're not a huge Bloodhound player, but I mean, you've obviously played him. What do you think?
So when Apex Legends first came out and everything, and they started talking it up, I thought Bloodhound was going to be my main. Like, just reading his abilities, being able to track people, I thought I was going to be able to use him very well. Or her. Shit, who knows
Oh
what
yeah, it's
he.
by something like by
Yeah, yeah,
polynomial, something like that. It's just a number.
yeah,
It's not a gender.
yeah.
It's just a number.
So, like, I thought I was going to run Bloodhound as my main, but I just every time I played him, something just he felt weaker than other legends in
Hmm.
gunfights. I like he's not obviously, but he just felt at a disadvantage even being able to track people.
Hmm.
Like the one thing I don't like about his ult is that people can go pick up thermal sights and basically have his ult besides being everything else turning gray.
True.
Like eh,
I
they
I
just show up
think
for
that the big drawback is one, his scan. His scan does not reach far enough, and there's a lot of bugs with it. I mean, like I've had times where I'm in a building and I run the scan to make sure no one's in the building, and then there's people upstairs and they come down and they shoot me. Like I've lost my
probably just
absolute.
doesn't reach that far.
But the thing is,
So
those are
that's why they
directly above
increased it.
me. They're directly above me. It should have reached anyways, because the scan distance is out, not up. Really, you know, it's not to the point where like I mean,
So it's a vertical, not a horizontal scan.
no, it's a horizontal
Or a
scan.
horizontal, not a vertical scan.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
So that's the thing. I think there's a drawback to that. There's just bugs that go along with it. And now they've been fixing it, and this is all the way back in Kings Canyon. That I'm remembering these issues because I haven't played a whole lot of him since I've really started to play the new map,
As
and
of late.
I just haven't, and it's nothing against Bloodhound. I'm a better Pathfinder. It's simple as that. But one thing I do think that could be incorporated to make him a better player is, or a legend, I mean, is to increase his speed. I think he needs to be faster. I think he needs to be almost to a Bangalore speed.
But Bangalore, all the legends are the same speed. Whether you like to admit it or not. Like just
That's true,
straight
I
running
guess.
speed. Bangalore only gets her speed boost when somebody aims at her.
I guess you're right. I guess she doesn't. I guess there is no difference in their actual speeds, just moving.
Right. When it comes to straight up speed, it's just they're all the same.
Yeah.
But and when he does go into the god of the whatever,
bogeys, bro.
yeah, his speed's increased.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he needs to be faster. He needs to like the tracking needs to be better somehow.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how. I can't explain it right now. I maybe future podcast I'll explain it, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
But right now I have no idea, but something with his tracking needs to be boosted in order to make him a meta.
You know, another thing too that I think that might be, again, this is all spitballing, but you could be included, is when he goes into his the Allfather, or what's it called? What's his alt?
I have no idea what it's called.
I'm sorry, I'm blanking on, but we all know. But his ultimate, where he goes into that mode where he stalks and they turn people red. I think something that would be interesting to see is if they were to include, if you can see through walls, like you can see their heat signature through a wall, because you can't unless they're in front of you. Yeah, because unless they're in front of you, you can't see them.
Right, the red doesn't appear.
And I think by incorporating the scan and his alt, whatever that's called.
Right, when you do double down.
Double down on it. I think at that point it adds a whole other level to his ability, because, I mean, like, again, for the most part, I mean, yeah, the red really makes the people stand out, like, don't get me wrong. But, like, if you're stalking someone, like, it's kind of what he's for. If you're in a building and you're able to see them, whether through the hall or upstairs above you or in a corner, and you can pre-fire that, like, that makes that a whole other level, I think, with his ultimate.
Okay. I have an idea for his ultimate.
What's
I've just been thinking. Didn't even listen to a word you said. I'm sorry, pal. I was just thinking. All right, so when he's tracking somebody, when he pops his alt, there should be like a trail of where they ran, not just the footsteps, like in the air, a trail, and it should be different colors, like blue for not even close, like they weren't even here, or
like
red,
Jackal.
right, or red, and it turns red the closer, like the less time there was in between you and that reaching that spot, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
So like if you're chasing somebody and they go into a room and turn the corner and it's bright red, you know they're right behind that wall.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Or if it's blue, then it might have been like 5 seconds ago, so you're clear.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of being able to, his LB or whatever is automatic. It recharges faster when he's in his alt.
That's not a bad idea either.
So
is that part of it already?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say I didn't think so either.
I don't think so. I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah.
So if those two things were added, or three with the seeing through walls too, but that kind of takes away from the trail, but it doesn't at the same time. But if you add a variation of those three things, I think Bloodhound would be much more playable than what he already is.
Yeah, no, I think I agree 100%. I mean, these are all great ideas, and that's the thing. I think getting out into the community and discussing these, like, I mean, I just remember, like, again, 2 weeks ago, I was talking in Twitter, and, like, there's a thing we talked about this with earlier, is like Apex has their way with, like, almost knowing what you want. Like, if you ask, you receive in Apex. It's kind of strange how that works. Like, even in game,
like 98% of the time, if you say, "Hey, I need a shotgun bolt,"
yeah, there's a shotgun bolt.
Or somebody pings it for you right away.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I almost felt like, even in this sense, where I was on Twitter with one of the fans, and we were talking on Twitter about Bloodhound and being a Bloodhound main and all that, or like how he's low key good as shit, but like how just a week and a half now, 2 weeks later, they've increasing his scan distance, like I said on Twitter. So I think it's pretty crazy that, like, Respawn and esports and Apex, and that community, like, kind of already knew what I mean. Not to say like I'm the first person to think of that, definitely not, but it's pretty cool. I think
it is. So let's go back to Apex. Let's look at some stats, overall stats for everybody, because I brought up Gibraltar's only used 6.5% of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Wraith, Pathfinder, Lifeline, top 3 in kills per match across the board. Does that surprise you?
Lifeline does.
Me
Lifeline does.
too.
Because
Me
I
too.
personally like Wraith and Pathfinder. No, they're on every squad. There's 2 on every
Right?
squad. Like they're just you
Or
know that
the
going
heavy
in.
pusher squads, anyways.
Oh yeah, easily. And like I don't know. I just don't recall seeing that many lifelines.
I mean, Lifeline's the third most used at 10.5% of the time.
I
So,
feel as of right now, out of the actual legends that are useful in ranked, I think Lifeline is the least used operator
really?
that I realized. Yes, at least in this new season, I really don't recall seeing that many lifelines.
And I the least used though, because Revenant is like
Oh,
nowhere to be found when it comes to
sure,
ranked play.
but that's why I said out of the people that are actually relevant to being planted in
Okay,
ranked.
fair enough.
I'm
Adding
talking okay,
relevant,
Wraith, Lifeline, Pathfinder, Caustic, Gibraltar,
right.
Watts. Well, there's a whole new meta
Watson a
apparently now
little
with
bit, yeah.
Watson. There has to be a new meta with Watson out, dude. I have never seen so many Watsons in my entire Apex career than this season alone. It's like obviously since she came out.
Right.
I'm trying to think who else. Like no one plays Mirage. Like Mirage is useless
Mirage
in
is
ranked at least.
yeah.
In
He's
ranked,
such just he's a
Revenant,
selfish.
Crypto. You see him every once in a while in ranked, but he's really not that great unless you can play him like really
Yeah,
well.
there's like 5% of the cryptos that I run into, and I'm like, wow,
Mhm.
they're good.
Mhm. I mean, you use them properly. Like Crypto's a key player because I mean, like you could get
He
people's
scouts.
banners
He
from
can
a
go do
distance.
things without. Yeah, he can go do things from a distance without
Yeah.
actually getting hurt. But
Yeah.
that's also his biggest flaw as
Yeah.
well.
Well, that comes along with this team chemistry. I mean, if you have like Gibraltar,
Right.
who's gonna post up next to you, like you're Gucci, you can go do all the surveillance you want.
Right.
Or a Watson, or you guys hunker down. You know,
Right.
do all
Again,
the
Apex
surveillance you
is a
want.
very team-oriented game because of all the differences the legends make,
Oh,
and
hugely.
the legends that you have against the legends that you're going against,
Mm-hmm.
and getting third party buy, fourth party buy, fifth party buy. Like
It's the
Gibraltar's very
worst.
good for picking up those parties because of his dome shield,
Mm-hmm.
which so it just all depends on who you run, what your chemistry's like, because it is very team oriented, which I like about the game.
I agree 100%. So a little bit moving out of the trios of battle royales and into the duos of battle royales. Fortnite Arenas Chapter 2 Season 2 has been released. It's underway. And I was a little bit not excited for it at all. Chuck and I think, and Garrett, we talked about it on the 2.0 podcast a little bit, and I said like I'm not excited for this at all. And Chuck was like, "Oh, I'm hoping that this brings Fortnite back," and it actually switched whenever we started playing it. I played it. I was thoroughly impressed. Like, not that it felt like old
Right,
fork knife, but
right.
like it definitely was like something that I wanted to grind. And you know, we played it, and I mean, like I did enjoy my time playing it with you, Chuck. What about for you? Like, was it a different experience
So
being back on the grind?
in previous podcasts, uh, I mentioned that Fortnite isn't what it is or used to be. I didn't enjoy it as much, and I was really hoping this Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2 was going to bring back an old livelihood. And I wasn't very excited to play it when it came out. I wanted to watch all the streamers because they drop things and they do things. They just buy everything in the battle pass, so I get to witness them play it and see how they play. And obviously, they're better than me and they play more fast paced than me, so I get to experience more part of the game, just not firsthand. And I watched Tim, Nick Merckx, all them, and I just wasn't impressed. Like the battle pass is sick, and how you interact with it is absolutely amazing. I will give Fortnite that.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual gameplay itself, I think more mobility needed to be added. I just it didn't remind me of that old Fortnite feel. It just wasn't what I wanted to play. And then the other night I hopped on for my first time because Fox rage quit Apex,
Oh,
and
super Gibby,
we
fucking Gibby,
and
man. He just
we
gets naked on screen, and then it geeks me out. So I wanted to quit. I rage quit Apex.
yeah, I'd want to get out of that too quick. I don't want to see that 290.
You don't want to see that 290?
No, not prefer. But anyways, we quit Apex and we hopped on Fortnite probably around 11:30 at night, and we didn't stop playing till 3 a.m. That's how much fun Fox and I were playing duo arenas.
Grinded, and I kept saying over and over again. I said, Chuck, I think we fell down the rabbit hole. I think we fell back down the rabbit hole. And before we get into where the rabbit hole led, I want to talk a little bit about the new landing spots, the new weapons.
Let's talk about our reactions to season 2, chapter 2.
I think it's awesome. I think with the new weapons, the new landing spots that they added to obviously incorporate the new weapons, the part that incorporate the battle pass, I think it's awesome.
So when you say new weapons, are you talking like
so not new weapons,
the mythic weapons?
Yes.
That they added? Okay.
Not new weapons in a sense where like they're new, but like weapons that were just
the
upgraded.
Mythic weapons, the Scar, the Tommy gun, the AK, the grappler, those guns.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, continue, my friend.
So I think, I mean, that's all I had to say. I think it's wonderful. I think I think that the weapons added were phenomenal. I think my favorite weapon is, my favorite weapon's gonna be the Mythic AK. But if I had to pick the gun I'd take over really anything, it'd be that Mythic minigun, bro. Miniguns shred.
Don't even...
Butter, bro. It's like hot knife through butter.
You can't build.
No.
And if you do, you get shot between each build you put up with a 16
that's not even with the Mythic.
Going.
That's not even with the Mythic, though. You get a purple minigun... You're pissing off a little Jimmy, sending him back to the lobby, you know?
For 99% of the time. Yeah. Right on him. You have a minigun. That's all it does.
Spit right on him.
That's like what you hear every shot. Just coming at you.
Yeah, dude. But that's the thing, like, it's awesome to do to someone, but holy fuck, can I not stand it.
It's so irritating.
So irritating. Because that's the thing, like, you can't defend it because of the way that they have that, but like it's a purposeful lag on their building delay.
And then you have those cocksuckers that double team us with 2
miniguns.
Oh.
No,
you can't even defend one? How are you supposed to defend 2? It gives me nightmares thinking about it.
Really chaps my khakis.
Gets the gears grinding.
So this is what we were trying to say is what happened when we fell down the rabbit hole. This is what happened. Tim Sweaney, the owner. Okay, we looked this up the other day when we were playing. Tim Sweaney, he's the owner of Apex Legends, CEO. Like
no, not Apex.
Not Apex. I'm sorry, of Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite, Unreal Engine. He's a game developer. Like, he created it. Like, he's the dude. He wasn't hired in as like the CEO. He's the owner. He did it. Like this. Excuse me. This dude's the man. Tim Sweaney, $7.3 billion with a B, $billion. Okay, this man makes $7.3 billion from a game that he developed, game engine that he developed, a game that came through his game engine, and this game's been out. It's a top-notch game in the whole world. Well, not the whole world, but whole world, we'll say. We talked about this last time as well.
Right.
And you can't fix the gosh darn game. Fix your servers. I do not have any problems on any other game 99% of the time Even though I blame 99% of my deaths on lag, 99% of the time I don't lag on any other game.
99%, not in Apex.
That's true, not in Apex.
I don't ever hear about lag in Siege or Apex.
But that's the thing, I don't have that lag.
It's only Fortnite when you bitch about lag.
And you know what it is? It's because I'm cracked, man. It's because I rip my 90s too fast and my Xbox can't put up with it.
You can't process what you're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just cracked. And I'm so cracked that it's out processing a computer.
An Xbox. Well, yeah, computer. It's not
I don't know
why we want to go to PCs.
Exactly the point, so I can be even more cracked.
Show off the true talents.
Yeah, true talent.
Seen the true Fox builder.
It's just so frustrating because that's the thing. Like, I know there are video games, like, and just in general, I know games are just video games, and like, there's a huge thing that came out with Ninja, and he's like, oh, well, blah blah blah. Like, why are you playing video games if you're not competing? Like, I have a competitive nature, as I know you do, Chuck. But
any athlete does.
That's the thing, dude. It drives me. I try really hard on certain things. Like, I do enjoy playing video games. I love it as a pastime. I love it as a hobby. You know, it's part of like what I love to do, like being streaming and all that. But sometimes the games themselves are so frustrating because the bugs that they have with them, and now what I'm trying to get at is with Fortnite specifically is this dude's making $7.3 billion, and you're telling me you can't fix your fucking game. You're telling me you can't fix your fucking game?
I mean, what? Yeah, I
what do you
not.
Chuck?
What do you want me to say, pal?
There's nothing to say. Fix your fucking game, Tim Sweaney. You fucking meatball. He sounds like a meatball. I feel like Tim Sweeney's like an owner of a meatball company. That's the only reason I said that. So? Oh, the only reason I said that. Yeah, it sounds like a meatball. Isn't there a meatball company or Sweeney Meatballs?
I don't freaking know.
Mom! Where's the meatloaf from? Where's the Sweeney Meatloaf?
Doesn't ring a bell to me, pal.
Oh, I don't know. It does frustrate me, as you can tell.
Yeah, because 95% of the time you blame lag, you don't die from lag. Yeah. So it's just the frustration coming out because your Xbox can't keep up with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you hit so many buttons on the Apex, on the controller for Fortnite compared to other games. So that could be part of the reason, on controller anyways, True. Why so many things go wrong with our connection or input or whatever you want to call it.
I didn't actually think about that because I did mention the other day when I was in a heated discussion with the input lag from the controller.
Correct.
Why I don't have it on the other games is, like you just said, like that would make complete sense, is because there's less button smashing. There's
less to do.
Yeah.
Because the building just... so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because before I only played COD, I was decent at COD. But after playing Fortnite and learning how to build, I got better at COD than what I was, because my reaction was quicker, because I had to turn and build, and then my fingers started moving quicker because you're not used to hitting B and then RB, LB, RT, LT like all the time, trying to put up walls.
Mm-hmm.
So playing Fortnite helped me in other aspects as well, because there is so much going on a controller, because you got to hit B just to bring up another menu to start building, and then you got to hit B to reset your controller to go back to the other to just run around and shoot people.
Yeah, I agree 100%. With no doubt, I think one thing that Fortnite definitely gave to me was the game sense and game awareness that no other game really gave to me. Like, when I played Call of Duty, I just ran around mindlessly,
shot my gun off whenever I could.
Yeah, and so like Fortnite, again, probably why everyone loves it. Used to love, like 95% of people who ever played Fortnite enjoy Fortnite. I still, as much as I may, complain about what Fortnite is, it's a wonderful game. I've enjoyed it. I've had so many great times doing it. It has, it has truly been a foundational game to me, even if I don't play it as much anymore, and it always will be.
Yes, it built us up as gamers.
Exactly. Agreed.
It really did, because again, going back to the input, it's basically having two controllers in one for just one game,
Yeah.
because you have to hit B to reset your controller so it can reconfigure itself that these buttons now mean this,
Hmm.
rather than. So it's ridiculous how much Fortnite actually helped me and us and probably other gamers as well.
Oh, hugely. Hugely. One
So
thing that I do miss about playing Fortnite is like it was one of the only games that I was able to like listen to bops and music when I played. I just miss jamming to Fortnite and then doinking on little jimmies and sending them back to the lobby and just jamming, bro, like to Uncle Cracker.
just listening to the music, letting the music play the
Let the
game.
music, and bro, you were big on that. You still listen to
I
music,
still
don't
listen
you?
to music every time I play. Yeah.
I see. I can't do it when I'm playing like Siege. There's not a chance. I can't play it Siege. Audio's
I'd
too big
listen
in
to it when
Siege.
I start streaming
Oh yeah.
to myself, while I stream, while I play, like while I talk to you guys, while I give out comms. I have music playing 100% of the time I'm playing Xbox.
Yeah, I haven't recently. It's been because since I've been playing Siege, the audio is such a huge part of Siege that I mean
Yeah,
it made me better when I played Siege. It simply did, but you know,
I sacrifice it. I don't give a rat's ass. I'd
yeah,
rather have the music.
yeah,
It keeps me in the zone. Half the reason I don't talk sometimes. The other 50% is because I'm very focused.
yeah. Well, that's true. You get super focused and you go mute.
I do. Something's going on in the video game, and I forget to give comms, and I'm just
Yeah.
headstrong on what I am doing.
I usually just lose my socks. So,
Yeah,
has
yeah.
there been any new bops that you've been listening to?
So, if we're gonna get into the music discussion, recently, one of my favorite artists, all time favorite artists, got me on hip hop is Drake. I know you're not a big Drake guy,
Nah.
but yeah. Save your shit for the birds, buddy. Drake is my all time, not my all time, but maybe my all time. He's one or two favorite artists that got me into hip hop and into music. And he just leaked two songs on his SoundCloud channel, October's very own, and I have been listening to them as much as I can be. And I know you don't like Drake. You probably didn't even know there were mixtapes out that are getting leaked, but
Nope.
I thoroughly enjoy listening to these mixtapes on Sound. Do you even have SoundCloud?
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't really listen. So that's the thing. Like, I don't listen to like I obviously I listen to music. Everyone listens to music for the most part, but like, no, I don't have SoundCloud.
You
I
need to
never
get it.
really
It's
been into
great.
that. I actually just I just unsubscribed to Apple Music. I
To
listen to
what?
podcasts.
Spotify? Because it's free?
Well, Spotify because it's free, but like I listen to podcasts. Like that's my big thing. That's one of the
Right.
reasons that I wanted to make this podcast. One of the reasons I wanted to get involved in the podcast community is because I personally I love podcasts. I haven't listened to music in my car to and from work since for months. For months, like I just don't listen to. I don't listen to music unless it's Mac Miller.
Yeah,
That's the
you
only
are a big
time,
Mac Miller guy.
and that's the only time I ever listen to music. Really, is
Huge Mac Miller guy.
huge Mac Miller. R.I.P. to my man. Huge R.I.P.
But so going back to Drake,
Yeah, sorry,
he leaked a
tangent.
couple. It happens. So going back to his leaks, I've been listening to When to Say When, and then he also leaked Chicago Freestyle, and both songs are great. I love them both. They both it just encaptures Drake and Drake now. So I've been listening to that, and I've also been listening to PTSD by G Herbo.
This is a great song, chat.
Isn't that the album title?
Yeah, his album's PTSD, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
sure.
talking about the album, not just the song itself.
See, I wasn't a huge. I mean, like, I listened to his parts. Like, well, I listened to parts of each song. It's hardcore for me. I mean, like, I'm not like I like your. I mean, I'm gonna be straight up. I'm like your typical white boy. Like, I like your white boy rap. I like my white boy country. Like, I got some alternative rock in there. Like, I'm as bland as it gets to music for the most part. So like, I'm not gonna say like G Herbo, like he goes hard, bro. Like hard on a lot of his songs, and like it just doesn't reflect with my life and what I've been through, which is a big part of music with everyone like wanting to reflect on the music that they listen to. So I'm not gonna like. I personally don't like most of the songs. The songs though are deep, and they're good.
Well, the album is obviously labeled PTSD, but have you looked at the album cover?
Yeah, it's with him holding a American flag with bullet holes and blood leaking out, right?
Yes, but the stars aren't stars.
No, they're people, but I couldn't really
They're
see who the
people's
peoples
heads.
were. Yeah,
Right,
who
Juice
were the
WRLD's on
peoples?
it.
Oh,
I
so are
couldn't
these
name all
people that have
50.
died?
Yeah, have passed away. Yes.
Okay.
These are 50 people in his life that have passed away.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna look up how old he is right now.
Well, I'm not sure, but you mentioned Juice WRLD, and what one of his songs, I think it's his main song on the album, is called PTSD. It has obviously him, Juice WRLD, Chance the Rapper, and Lil Uzi. Like, bro, that's a hella lineup right there. Like, hella lineup.
Is a hell of a lineup. But before I talk about that song, G Herbo is 24 years old, and going back to the album cover, he is able to put 50 heads on that flag of people who passed away in his life. You and I are both 24. I can tell you one thing. I don't have anywhere damn near 50 people that have passed away in my life.
No.
That I could put on a flag that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has 50.
And that's the thing. I think people. I never really thought of the album cover like the way you're mentioning it, but it makes a lot of sense. Really like digging into it. That's interesting to think about.
Like that's what the whole album is about. Is about how he lost those people, and that's why it's sometimes him getting so emotionally, and it's a different type of emotion that you don't like. The sound that you don't like, where you say he's going hard, is just a different type of emotion that he's putting into this album because of what it represents and what he's.
So that's what I was trying to get at. Like, I wasn't trying to say like the album's bad.
I know exactly what you're saying, because I said the same thing about Mac Miller's last album.
Yeah, it just is like there's something that like I can tell that it's musicianally created well. Sure, it's rap, and people are gonna say like, oh, rap's not like well made music. Like, but that album, and looking into the album cover and then listening to the songs and putting it all together, like that is a well made album all around. I think
it's because he was just putting his feelings out there. It was just his raw emotion, and that's the best type of music you can get. It's just when somebody's putting their raw heart into that sound, into that music, into that album.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Mac Miller did in his last album. But again, that's just not my type of music. It's beautiful music. I can't listen to it all the time like you do.
Oh God, dude, I listen to Once a Day by Mac Miller once a day, at least.
I know you do, and you don't even listen to music that often. That, like you were saying, but when music is playing, like 80% of the time, it's probably Mac Miller, unless we're out drinking.
Yeah. Then
it's fair game for
it's anything, dude.
Good list. Anything with a guitar that Fox may know, just pull out a paper clip and hand it to him and say it's a guitar. And
for those of you that don't know, what happened is when I was in my younger days, in my prime, I was a professional air guitar. I was a professional air guitarist, and so once my time came about in the music industry and I became kind of washed up, you could say, an air guitarist, I retired and became a content creator. So that's where I'm at now in my life. I've picked up a new talent, you could call it.
A new talent.
Yeah, a new talent. Trust me,
I guess we could call
not
it
everyone
talent.
can just play the air guitar. You've seen it, Chuck, firsthand.
Okay, so let me attest to this, man. The reason I say a paperclip is because this man actually carried around a little piece of paper with a guitar drawn on it in his wallet, so when we would go to the bar, he had something to strum on.
I was a professional air guitarist.
That is how dedicated this man is to playing the guitar. Well, air guitar. Or paper guitar, whatever you want to call it. He was very dedicated to his craft.
Something without actual strings I played.
Some fake guitar version.
Yeah, so
he killed it.
Killed it. I mean, I always did. I always put on a show. That's why I was famous.
He was entertainment, let me tell you. He's entertaining now, but that's a whole different breed of entertainment.
I've matured. We'll just call it
That's
that.
for later days. I'll get him there, chat. I'll be there in person, and we will get him for a stream.
Well, St. Patrick's Day is coming up here pretty soon, so we might have a rare breed.
Elk invited me down, along with Brian and Aaron Mason.
Oh yeah, I haven't even. I just someone brought it to my attention earlier that St. Patrick's Day is next weekend, so I'm gonna have to start scheming.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna be down there with.
All right, we'll keep me posted.
We'll have to get together.
Yeah, keep me posted. So let's go back a little bit real quick, and then we'll wrap it up with a pretty question that I'm curious to know about. It really is off topic.
I don't even have an answer to this question yet.
But let's talk about the actual song PTSD. With the lineup of G Herbo, Chance, Lil Uzi, and Juice WRLD. What do you think?
Right. It's just a great song. It's probably my favorite on the album. I just anytime I hear Juice WRLD's voice now, it makes me shiver a little bit. Just 'cause R.I.P. again.
Yeah, R.I.P.
See, was saying that way too many times tonight.
It's a shame, man.
It is. It really is. But Chance the Rapper, let me just talk about Chance, because Chance the Rapper, his first album, Acid Rap, I believe it was called.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. One of my top 5 albums.
Acid Rap is my favorite album of all time.
Over Mac Miller?
Over Mac Miller.
Really?
Chance the Rapper. Dude, it goes Mac Miller, Chance the Rapper, then Wiz. Like, those are my top. That's my top 3. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm obviously biased with Mac and Wiz, but like, Acid Rap was in 2014, my senior year, dude, in summer. That album, I waited for years for it to come out on Apple Music. Like, when it came out on Apple Music, bro, I had to be one of the first people. Yeah, I was one of the first people I had to be to download it because I knew it was coming up, bro. I had everything on download, like every song on the album, bro. I damn near know every word.
Me too. At least 90% of it I know. One of my favorite, Juice
is a great song.
It's not available on Spotify. Like, it's one of the only songs that they couldn't get copyrights for, so it's not. I can't listen to it, and it was one of my favorite songs.
That's a shame.
But anyways, Chance, Acid Rap, hit it, loved it, and then it took him 3 years to come out with Coloring Book, which was his second album, and I only have 3 songs from that album saved.
Yeah,
because
Coloring Book was okay.
It was very disappointing.
I agree.
And then The Big Day came out last year, and I have I have 11 songs saved from this album. So he saved himself a little bit. That's a little over half. So to me, Chance the Rapper has been on the down with his music. Just for some reason, I love Chance the Rapper. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate on him. It's just his music just didn't hit right for me. And then this song, it revived a little love for Chance I had. It really did. He kills
Mm-hmm.
it.
No,
He
I think
kills it.
he. And the thing is, though, too, is like out of all the songs from Chance, this is like I don't know. This is like he speaks, like he really speaks about it,
Mhm.
because like he's all about like good vibes, really, and like he kind of has that like preachy,
He
holy
preaches
kind of.
positivity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he's got
preaches
that.
positivity.
Exactly, and he has that around him. Like that's who Chance is. Like everyone kind of knows that's his
It's great. I
brand, you
love it.
know.
That's
Yeah,
Chance the Rapper. Yeah, yeah.
but when it comes to this song, like he's really talking about some like you don't really hear about like when you hear of a rapper, you think of someone like running the streets and blah 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 blah, right? Sure, you got that stereotype
Mhm.
with a rapper. Chance doesn't fit that. He never really has rapped about that to that extent. Like, sure, you hear a little bit about it, but in his verse, bro, he really goes into that. And like, I mean, I got chills right now. I wish I could show you, but I got chills in my arm right now, and it's just like he really spits his heart.
He
It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm reading in the lyrics right now just to go over them. Yeah. It's like again, l- the song's called PTSD, so he's talking about post traumatic stress.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So his shit he's been through again, which is what makes good music. If
Mm-hmm.
you can put your heart and soul into that music, into that lyric, into whatever it is, it's going to be better than just being told to made something.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a tweet earlier today from somebody that said, uh, when I force myself to stream, I don't make as good content.
Oh
And that,
no way.
like, thinking about that is so true because making content is just another form of art in a sense. Because music is art, so why can't creating content that people listen to, people watch, be art? So, with that being said, it makes total sense because you're forcing yourself to do something that you're not really into or don't love or aren't passionate about at that
Mm-hmm.
specific time. So you aren't going to put your whole heart into it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a big
So,
thing with like streaming. You're talking about art, right? Content
mhm,
creators, like not to take it off of the whole music side of things, but
yeah,
I mean
keep going.
personally, myself, but along with I know many others, like there's people that have completely stopped streaming. Streamers that were good
Right,
content
right.
creators
I'm going to pull Courage JD's
completely
Twitter up right now. Keep
completely
talking.
stopped. And I know personally, like I've had many, not many, but life, if you're not a full-time content creator, even if you are, but I'm going to speak for the part where like a person that works a 9 to 5 job that does streaming and creates content for the love of it, just like everyone else starts at.
Okay.
But it becomes to a point where sometimes it's a grind. Where like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to put out this content that is as good as the guys that are up at the top. I want to be the I want to I want to expand my brand. I want to expand my community. I want to
But
make it better.
you you want to put content out you want to put out. You're not doing stuff you don't want to do.
Of course, and that's the thing.
Okay.
No one's. I feel that if you're gonna make content that you don't want to make, then it's not genuine. You're not gonna have that genuinity, and people are gonna know. But there are times where last week I got caught up with life. A lot of stuff was going
Right,
on.
it's
Just
forced.
and I wasn't able to put the YouTube video. I wanted to get Why Is Gibby
Mhm.
So OPL last week. I wanted to try to get it out actually before this podcast, so then I could bring it into the podcast. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, so I'm going to be dropping it later this week. It had nothing to do with like me not being passionate about making the content, because I love it. I like this is what I love to do. This is how I escape. Like this is what I do to make my life enjoyable outside of all my stressors and stuff like that. So it just unfortunately I never got around to it. It's just part of it.
It's an escape for you. I get
Mm-hmm.
it, man. Okay, so I
That's me
said I was going to
personally.
pull up Courage JD's Twitter. This was a tweet from him yesterday, and I quote, "Apologies if I haven't been on my stream as much. In the last 20 years of my life, I've never been so disinterested in playing games. But I think it's because I've locked myself in a box. Soon I'm going to test the waters with new games. I hope you'll support me. End quote.
Yeah. I mean, you could only
That
play a game so much.
That's coming from Courage JD.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest content creators out there right now when it comes to the realm of streaming and video games.
You know what? Another thing that I think it might be is, and this goes as along for him. And I'm speaking on a bit myself too, my own journey. Is like streaming is where your Courage JD started. Like that's where those guys started. They started as streamers for the most part.
Well, Courage started as a caster.
Okay, but he started as a caster. But the thing is, though, is he blew up to this point, to this point where streaming isn't their main focus. At that point, it's not their main content. Like this dude, like there's streamers and what they want is to do this for the rest of their life, correct? So they're signing these contracts so they get money guaranteed. They're getting out of this point. We're in a whole new part of the gaming world where people are getting guaranteed money to stream this video game, to stream this or that, to be a streamer, to be a content creator, right? So the thing is, though, is like they've done this the whole time. You get burnt out. And then you become interested in the other things that are being involved with. Like for me personally, like again, I love the job that I have, and so one of the big things is this is my hobby, to stream, to create content, to be a part of this community. Like this is my hobby, and I love everybody a part of it. But when it comes to my job, like I want to absorb myself into that more, so that means I have to cut back on something else, which means that I have to cut back out of my YouTube video, for instance, because I want to be more involved. I want to be more absorbed. I want to be more into my workspace and my job that I have, because that's me personally. But that's the same for Courage, and the same principle is like he's trying to do something that's going to be different than just streaming.
Right, and something he wants to do as a person.
Exactly.
He's not. So just coming back to it, follow what you want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm going to throw this out here. Tell me what you think of this. It just came to my mind. I even had to go get a pencil and write it down so I could remember.
Okay.
So one thing that I thought of is like back when Twitch first started and streamers first started, whenever Twitch came out, I don't even know. I'm not a true Twitch watcher, like from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I think Twitch got to the point where social media gets and people as a community drain somebody from using it.
Oh, yeah.
So Twitch used to be just true people that loved watching video games, because I played a bunch of video games and I didn't even know what Twitch was till Fortnite. So I think Fortnite brought in this wave of people, which was great for Twitch and great for everything. But I also think it did what social media did. Social media got so popular that it's toxic. You see so many people get bullied on it, and it's a toxicity waste dump. And people say it all the time, and they quit social media because it's just they don't want to be around it. So I think the same aspect kind of happened to Twitch and content creation right now, because as you said, people just aren't streaming as much right now. Like they're just not into it. And I think that's what's kind of happening, because he's saying, like Courage is saying, he's saying that I hope you will support me, because he knows if he doesn't play Fortnite, that people aren't going to watch him and yell at him because he's not playing the most popular game they want to watch.
Well, another thing is I mean, he's in that contract. I mean, obviously I don't know what was in the contract or in the fine print and stuff. Like, are they making him play Fortnite?
No, I don't believe so. I think he just signed something like an agreement to stream only on their platform for so many hours a week, or so many hours a month, or so many hours a year, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was concentrated onto whatever he plays.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're forcing him to play Fortnite. I just think the community as a whole is getting too toxic, like social media is, and it's starting to drive away content creators because it's not as joyful as it once was.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree 100%.
So that just we're way off topic from music.
Yeah, Well, I mean, it's all relevant though. I mean, it's not like it's not that it is off topic. I mean, it's relevant, and it goes along with anyone, whether you're streaming video games, create any kind of art, forming content. Like it's ups and downs. That's part of being. I mean, if you just look at artists, like artists don't make a painting every week. You can't make a painting every day and have it be the largest, greatest painting to ever come out every single day. You just can't. It's as simple as that. As a painter, these people that are painters are doing it. They make a painting, and if they're lucky, it becomes famous, obviously, and that's most of the time it.
Right.
Right.
Or you're Van Gogh and you cut off your ear, which more people know about you then.
Then you just got a hella creepy story.
Yeah.
So
I get what you're saying, man. Again, everybody refers to it as an art, and art just has to be a passion for it to be outstanding that you want it to be. If you are forcing yourself to do something you don't want to do, be only as good as you're feeling it.
No, and that's another thing too, is I think the gaming world's coming to that part where it is getting, like you said, a bit toxic, for lack of words. And I think a lot of people are going to start being discouraged, not going to start streaming, not going to have as many people there's not as many people getting into streaming. I mean, like, it used to be like if you were playing video games, you streamed. I mean, that's kind of really it. And it's getting to the point now where people that are streaming and established are streaming and staying established, or they're burning out and not streaming anymore. And people not as many new streamers are coming out. It's just how it is.
Right. And very rarely are people watched for the raw content that they create. Like, so many people just want to watch Fortnite, and they get so mad if their favorite creator isn't playing Fortnite.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
And then they don't even support them in that time. So you support them while they're playing Fortnite, but not COD or CSGO or Siege or
and that's the difficult part. I mean, like, it's just people are loyal to a game, and they're not. They say they may be loyal to a streamer, but they're more often than not going to be. I mean, if you're loyal to a streamer, you're going to follow them to another platform.
You're going to watch no matter what game they're playing, because it's not all about the game. It's about listening to that person talk, seeing what they're doing, seeing what, like, it's because one of the parts I love about Tim the Tat Man is he is entertaining to me. Like, he plays World of Warcraft, and I haven't played a damn lick of it in my life, and I still watch him play because I enjoy watching Tim.
Agree 100%.
So, and same with Courage. I was watching Courage, I don't even know how long ago it was, but some stupid looking game with his old buddies from like college or something, and I didn't even know what was going on, but I still watched him because I enjoy watching Courage as a person. But you get those people again that just want to watch the game, and then when they don't play the game, they get in their chat and say, play this, play this, play this, play this, play this, play this, and they spam it.
It's toxic.
Or they treat them bad, like say shit about them, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, it's toxic. It's really toxic.
So don't do it if you do it.
Yeah. So we're coming to the end here, Chuck. We've talked about Apex, Fortnite, music, art, Apex, Fortnite again. Let's wrap it up with wrap it up with one last question I wanted to ask you now. Now, it is, if you could invent anything without any limitation of technology, What would it be? Just a little food for thought to give to the listeners. And those of you listening, be sure to, because this will be going out on YouTube, but be sure to comment down below, blah, 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 all that handy dandy stuff. But like, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. So jump in the Discord, guys. Let us know what you have to say. Like, I'm kind of curious because I'm a real big sciencey guy. I'm nerdy. And I've been thinking about this is like, if you had any kind of idea without any limitation in technology, without any limitation in manpower, what would it be?
So no limitations, like
None.
Everything's fair game.
You're fair game, bro. Use your
All right,
imagination.
a phone that never dies.
A phone that never dies?
A phone that never dies of battery life.
Why that?
Because I couldn't think of anything, and that's like the first thing that popped into my head. But I would you would never have to charge it. You would never have to worry about a cord. You never have to charge it. That's my point. I don't have any more after that.
That's fair, I guess. I was thinking of maybe something a little bit more like
what? I've been thinking about this question for the past hour and a half, and
that's all you came up with?
That's all I came up with, pal.
Damn. I was thinking of like something like people. This question was asked, and it was
like I didn't want to go the basic create a machine that cures cancer.
Well, no, but like there's there's that. But I was thinking
obviously
about.
I'd choose that. Obviously, I would choose that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's state that for the record. But I didn't want to be basic.
So there's what I was thinking of is like if I could have any invention that was coming up. I was trying to think. I don't really have an invention, but what I was thinking is with the new, along the newer lines, there's 5G coming out, and basically they're saying by 2025, I believe it was, there's going to be 10 times more data samples coming in than in 2017. And now this is me nerding out, but like I'm just starting to get into computational science and computer science with my work that I'm being a part of. And I work with genetics, so it's like very large bases, or you get like a sequence of genes, and every nucleotide, not amino acid, nucleotide is a data sample, and there's obviously millions and millions of nucleotides throughout the human genome and mouse genome and blah blah blah. So there's all this data that is going to be coming in that we're going to get, but what are we going to do with it? What's it even mean? You know what I mean? Like, and so what I was trying to think of is like, first off, how are you going to compute all this? And then what are you going to do with it? What do you think, Chuck?
So I'm trying to follow. So there's just an influx of information.
Huge.
That they're predicting.
It's already starting. It's already with 5G. So
where obviously they have to have room to store it, or they wouldn't have done it if they're expecting all this data to just be flooded in.
Well,
so they have to have some system or some hard drive or many hard drives ready for it.
Oh, there's supercomputers. There's more than just hard drives, but
right. I'm not a big computer guy.
Yeah.
Like
supercomputers.
Right. They just got the works. They're ready, or at least they think they're ready, which we all know sometimes a video game isn't ready when it drops.
Of course.
But so they might not be ready, but they think they're ready for that influx of data. And as for what they're gonna do with it, your guess is as good as mine. It's as good as freaking Gibraltar's.
It's true.
Like you could just go through Gibraltar's quips and answer it for me.
I just wonder like what kind of data, because you can get data from anything. I mean, like the one podcast that brought this to my attention is a great one. It's called The Restless Ones, but they talk about the guy, this gentleman, I don't remember his name, Indian fella, but he created Intuit, so Intuit TurboTax and QuickBooks. And so they use this computational data, these data sets that come through and come back from computing and running all of these systems and softwares and algorithms and they use that data to then make things better. So I'm just trying to maybe think ahead of someone else. I'm trying to be a millionaire. I'm trying to be a billionaire, right? So I need to have that mindset of what do I have to do to be a billionaire? I got to come up with something, right? I got to be someone that's going to set a trend. I don't want to follow trends. I want to set the trends. Then I want to set the next trends.
So let me ask you this. Would you rather invent something to become a billionaire, or would you rather set a trend?
Well, don't you think they go hand in hand?
Ah,
I mean, think of social media.
how is inventing, like, on the topic that you're on, how is inventing, like, I mean, I guess you can get rich from inventing a computer, but, like, you want to invent something with the data to increase others, like like you said, TurboTax?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to invent with that data? I just don't see where you're.
So at this point, you're not going to invent anything from that.
Right.
They're going to use it to make Intuit TurboTax or QuickBooks more efficient, run the numbers faster. That's old news, right?
Right. So what?
But that's the question. But that's the question you have to figure out. That's the question I'm asking: is what can you use from this? What can you take from this data that someone has never used before, someone has never seen before? It's where the originality comes from. If someone's already found what to do with the data, it's been done. Dude's made $1 billion and sitting fat and pretty. But it's
okay.
It's the point of trying to ask that question of what is the next thing that can be done.
Okay, but let me ask you, how is that a trend?
Well, if we look at social media, for instance, back when social media became big, when Facebook first came out, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think about it. He created Facebook, and it created a trend.
Right.
Of social media platforms.
Or everybody used it.
Well, everyone uses it. Then all these other social media platforms come out using all different. It's all the same general idea of a social media platform, obviously different takes on it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's inventing something and then setting the trend. Right?
Okay. I see where you're going.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or am I just talking in circles? Because this stuff floats around in my head. And
I know it does, pal. I've been with you while both of us are just hammered at 2:30 in the morning, just ranting about life.
Never.
But okay. I just needed to be driven on a straight path to the freaking answer, and I'm there.
If it's not that, it's like who's gonna win? How is someone gonna win the dunk contest next year? And the only thing I could come up with is if Aaron Gordon dunks naked.
Right.
But there's no in between, so.
Fair point.
All right.
No in between there.
Well, with that being said, Chuck, I think it's time. It is.
I do think it's time.
It's pretty late. So, Chuck, where can we find you?
Again, you can find me at all socials at PRPLxHunchochuk. I'm going to change it. Not on all socials, just on Twitter. I'm going to change it to that, but other socials at Hunchochuk. And one more thing before I go. Shout out to TCB. They are 2-0 right now. Big comeback win today. Big comeback win today. Put up 3 runs in the 9th inning to take the win. Love it, boys. Love it. But
Shout out TCB, baby.
Fox, where can we find you at, pal?
So you can find me on Twitter, the Twitch, the YouTube, the Instagram, possibly on the TikTok. Haven't come up with that one yet, but I'm PRPLxFox on all social media platforms. I put content out. I stream 2 to 3 days a week, putting YouTube videos out 2 to 3 days a week. Got the podcast now with Dark Purple, running amok on the podcast scene, so not a big deal, but that's where you can. That's the boys are buzzing. So that's where you can find us. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. This is episode 3.3 of Dark Purple Podcast. Be sure to check out 2.5, 2.0, and 1.2 of Dark Purple Podcast with many more to come. Thank you. Have a nice night.
Till next time.
All right, Chuck.